everyone, this is Colleen Lemma, Starseed Astrologer and Spiritual Messenger from SacredSoulEmpowerment.com, here to do your monthly angel card reading for July 2016. So for this monthly reading, we're going to be using Doreen Virtue's Angel Tarot deck for the main message. And your special message card this month is actually going to be coming from the Fairy Tarot deck, also by Doreen Virtue. Now, before we get into the universal energies and the astrological energies for the month, let's look at your stones of choice for your special message for this monthly reading. Your first stone of choice is called spectrolite. Now, spectrolite is a form of labradorite, but it doesn't look like labradorite normally does. Spectrolite is a very dark stone. It's got a lot of little flecks that actually refract light. Looks like little sparkles of white or golden light in there. And just to give you kind of an intuitive thought about what this stone is, it makes me feel of the night sky. It looks like a million stars in the night sky to me. So I want to connect it with both of our base chakra as well as our crown chakra. The base chakra is the dark part of the stone, helping to ground us into this earth plane. But the specks of light are the stars, or the crown chakra, the universal light energy that's connecting us with that universal life force energy, that God source energy. So it's kind of like as above, so below. And to me, it's filled with the magic of ancient knowledge and wisdom from the stars and from our star brothers and sisters. Your second stone of choice is... to me, this looks like a slab of rhodochrosite. Now, some might call it pink agate, but I want to say, because I have several pieces of rhodochrosite, and to me this looks like a huge rhodochrosite stone that's been kind of sliced. And this rhodochrosite is pink, beautiful light pink color. And either way, this is relating to unconditional love of the heart chakra, self-love, nurturing, compassion, even unconditional love for other people. But I really feel like this focuses on healing of our own heart chakra wounds and that feeling of healing the inner child within. Your last stone of choice is actually another agate stone, and this is blue lace agate. I don't know if you can see the color blue. Sorry about the reflection on the video here, but this blue lace agate is a very light blue. It's got, you can see like waves of white and blue kind of interspersed there. It reminds me of a clear blue sky with a few little wispy clouds, and it really to me relates to the throat chakra and speaking your truth with unconditional love and integrity and honesty and compassion, and really kind of having a sense of your own creative self-expression when it comes from the throat chakra and what you're speaking and what you're saying. Okay, so again, your stones of choice are the spectrolite, the rhodochrosite, or the blue lace agate. Whoops, sorry about that. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the energy of July. So July, the numerological vibration, is a 16, because if you add the fact that we're in a 9 universal year, 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 6 is that 9 universal year that we're in, and we add it to the month of July, which is the 7th month. 9 plus 7 is the 16. Now, usually in numerology, we reduce it down, and we can reduce that down to a 7 because 1 plus 6 equals 7. And let's look at that lower vibration first. The number 7 is about self-reflection and meditation and internal guidance and really going within and connecting with our spiritual higher soul self. And it's about trust and faith, and it's about healing on the mental and emotional level. It's about sometimes confusing energies that are going on around us, and this is why there's that need to pull back our energies and have the quiet time, the alone time, to kind of go through a soul-searching kind of energy, again, to find our inner truth, our inner peace. Now, the number 16 is one of the karmic numbers, and there's not a lot of karmic numbers in numerology. We actually have 4 of them that we talk about, and the number 16 is one of those 4 karmic numbers. And it deals with huge transformational changes on an external level. Now, this is different from transformational changes on an internal level, although definitely when you have changes on an external level in your environment around you or in your social sphere, it can definitely cause an internal transformation too. But it's likened to the 16th major arcana in the tarot, and I pulled that out of the Angel Tarot deck to kind of give you an idea of the energies here. In this deck, it's called Life Experience, and I like it that it's called Life Experience in this deck. And the regular tarot, it's called the Tower card, and a lot of people become a little nervous or afraid when we talk about the Tower card or when they see the Tower card, because it shows a building with a lightning bolt hitting it and people falling out of it. And this is just a much gentler way of looking at that energy, life experience. And Archangel Chamuel is listed on this card here. And Archangel Chamuel helps us with our life purpose. He's the archangel that assists us with our life purpose, having clarity about our life purpose. He also assists us with soulmate relationships, but it fits more when we talk about the life purpose because the message at the bottom here says a significant life event, a powerful revelation that leads to change and time to spread your wings. So this is really indicative again of those external changes, those external happenings going on all around us. It's sort of like a death and rebirth in our outer circumstances. So this can be, likened to the energy of July, that there's going to be many things happening around us that brings us into a place of getting ready to really move into our truth, into our power, so to speak, into more of a place of having faith and trust within, and having also faith and trust in a higher power, which you can call it God or universe or source or great spirit. To me, it's all the same. It's all one divine energy. And in this image, it actually shows an angel here, and she's actually facing us, and almost as if she's walking away from a structure that's in the background. And that's also indicative of what this energy is about too, is walking away from external structures or circumstances or even belief systems that no longer seem to provide us with what we need, that no longer is a part of our truth, that no longer seems to be standing in a place of integrity, or it's kind of like the illusion that we're walking away from. And I like this card because of that light. Look at that beautiful light shining down upon the angel as she's walking through this almost Garden of Eden, through the flowers. And she's coming into a much better place. Although she might be walking away from challenges, she might be walking away from circumstances that she will have to heal through, she's still moving into a much better place, which is why this is called life experience. We always go through challenges in our life. That is a part of our life experience, but that brings us great growth and evolution on our path. It brings us great healing to our inner soul. And that's kind of the numerological energy of what's happening in this month of July. Now, let's talk about the astrology. We'll just talk about briefly the highlights of what's going on. And then as you listen to the weekly readings, you'll get more of a deeper insight to those astrological energies. But first, I want to say that right towards the end of June last month, we had Mars going direct. And Mars is our energy momentum, forward-moving energy. And now that it's coming out of retrograde and it's starting to move ever so slowly in a forward motion, this is going to bode very well for us because now things can start to move forward. Now it's going to be in Scorpio moving forward for this whole month of July, which is going to be more of us finding our power and still releasing disempowering circumstances from our lives. And so we're moving through a time of healing on the subconscious level. As Mars moves back into Sagittarius in August, which is going to be next month, then we're going to have more fast movement, things more optimistic and happening faster, because Sagittarius is mutable fire, and so it's going to be a lot more inspirational, a lot faster moving, basically, than Mars and Scorpio. Now, we still also have Saturn squaring Neptune. That's going to be in effect through the end of September. So Saturn is the old third dimensional illusions of reality, or if you want to say third dimensional reality. Saturn is about kind of challenges and trials and karmic lessons that we're here to learn. And then it's challenging Neptune, which is, again, this ethereal planet, things that are unseen or not being able to be touched or witnessed on the physical plane, but it's felt on the spiritual plane. It's very much about unconditional love and compassion and unity consciousness and all of those wonderful things that we're attempting to move towards as far as a humanity and a planet. So those energies are still at play through the month of July, as well as August and September. Now, let's look briefly again at some of the highlights of the month of July. Of course, we have a new moon in Cancer on the 4th of July. It's going to be opposing Pluto, planet of transformation. So there's going to be some powerful transformation on an emotional level because of the Cancer effect. The sign of Cancer is about our emotions, our feelings. It's about home and family. It's about community. So this new moon is bringing in a new beginning or a new energy, along with it opposing Pluto, bringing in that transformation aspect to all of those areas. On the 12th and the 13th, both Venus and Mercury will be moving into Leo. So they're now moving out of Cancer. They're moving into the fire sign of Leo, fixed fire. So there's more energy, there's more courage, there's more leadership, there's more take charge kind of energy as we move into the Leo energy with these planets. Now, another thing I want to make mention is on the 13th, we also have Mars in Scorpio, and it's in an inconjunct, or what we call a quincunx aspect, to Uranus. Now, we had this once before on June 18th, 2 days before that second Sagittarius full moon. If you remember, 2 days before that Sagittarius full moon, there was a really weird energy going on, and I know you can't deny it. I know if you think back, you'll remember that time before the Sag full moon, that it was a really strange energy a couple days before. We have this energy again now because Mars is now turned direct. It's going to come back, and it's going to come back into that inconjunct or quincunx aspect to Uranus. So be prepared around the middle of the month, actually 12th to 13th of the month, that there's going to be some interesting energies again with that. Then we have a full moon at 27 degrees of Capricorn on the 19th of July. Moving forward on the 22nd, the Sun will move into Leo, joining Venus and Mercury in Leo. So now we have a lot of this Leo energy of creative self-expression and shining our light. Again, being confident and taking charge and being a leader. Probably the most important thing is going to be on the 29th of this month. So I'm going to skip ahead and tell you on the 30th of this month, Mercury will have moved into Virgo at that time. So it'll zip through Leo. And on the 30th, Mercury moves into Virgo, which is the other sign of the zodiac that it rules. So things, at that time are going to become much more logical on a mental level. And we'll be kind of thinking of or paying attention to the details and the next steps that we need to take. But now I want to back up to the 29th of July because this is the most important thing, I think, for the month of July, is that Uranus is going to go retrograde at 24 degrees of Aries. Now, Uranus is a higher vibrational planet. It deals with the higher mind. It deals with sudden and unexpected changes. It deals with things that are unusual or unique. It deals with a sense of independence and freedom. And again, it's this bridge to higher dimensional energies, okay? Because in the solar system, as we move through all the planets, going out from the Sun, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, we get to Saturn. Saturn is that third dimensional energy right? It's the grounded third dimensional energy. After Saturn, we move to Uranus, and this is kind of like that bridge from third dimensional to higher dimensional energies. So Uranus is bringing in this higher dimensional, freedom-oriented, inspirational connection to divine source God energies. As it slows down this month, and we're going to feel this before the 29th, as it slows down this month to go retrograde, it's going to again intensify and heighten these energies of Uranus. All these things that I've been talking about with Uranus are going to be intensified. There might be some unusual happenings taking place. There might be some unusual weather taking place. There might be some surprises, things that happen out of the blue, situations and circumstances, either in a personal way with you and your circumstances, or in a global way that you never saw coming or that you're shocked about. You know, Uranus likes to shock people. So things that are shocking can happen. Things that come in quick and suddenly and unexpectedly can happen. I don't feel this is a scary thing or should be a scary thing. I feel like this is an exciting thing. I feel like Uranus is exciting energy. It's like moving us to that spiritual potential that we all have within us. In fact, it's called the Great Awakener. So Uranus is awakening all of us. It's like snapping us out of this deep sleep of unknowingness or of the doldrums of moving through the motions of life, unconscious, and it's awakening us into higher consciousness. It's awakening us into our truth and hopefully bringing us this sense of freedom on a soul level that we can then pull down and experience on a third dimensional level. So I feel like this is going to be exciting energy. All right, so let's take a look at the energy through the cards that the angels gave us for this month of July. The first card is the Two of Fire. Love this card, okay? Fire planets, Leo, all these planets moving into the fire sign Leo. Here's a fire card. It says, you've come into your own, new partnerships or contracts, continue to move forward. The biggest thing I get from this for this month of July is we're now starting to move forward. Remember, at the end of June, Mars went direct. Now we can start to move forward, although it's going to be slow movement at first because it's going to take a while for Mars to pick up speed. And first it's in that sign of Scorpio, which is a water sign, the sign of the subconscious, dealing with inner healing, dealing with self-empowerment. But this is about finally we're getting to move forward, okay? I feel like I need to, at this point, let's look at the second card because I think we need more information on this card, hopefully. Okay, another fire card, Seven of Fire, Seven of Fire. And this says, defend your beliefs and decisions, stand your ground, but choose your battles wisely. Okay, whenever I think about the number 7, I think about my internal truth. Our internal truth, our internal radar as far as other people and whether they're speaking the truth, or the circumstances and situations around us and whether that is based in truth. So I feel like we really need to I feel like we need to really go within and connect with our inner truth and really make sure, does this feel right to me? Is this my truth? And then look at what's going on in the outer realm around you, the circumstances around you, and does this match with your internal truth, your internal barometer? Does it match what you feel? Because a lot of times what is presented in our outer circumstances as truth is just an illusion. And that's part of that Saturn-Neptune square going on right now. You know, a lot of things have been presented to us that are false and are not truth. And so to find your internal truth and what feels right to you and then, you know, put it against what's going on around you and base your internal truth on whether or not what's happening in the situations around you are truth or false, I think is important. Now it says to stand your ground, stand in your truth, but also it says to choose your battles wisely. So I feel like we're not necessarily needing to exert our truth onto other people, because one thing we have to remember is our truth is not always someone else's truth, and that's okay. We all have our own internal truth. And because somebody else might have a different truth, it doesn't mean that they're wrong and you're right, or you're wrong and they're right, or whatever. Everybody can have their own truth. Just like, to me, this is really indicative of all the different and varying religions on the planet. And I feel that no religion is necessarily the right religion. I feel like there's aspects to all the religions that go back to one source, one truth, one God, one energy, whatever you want to call it, which is an energy of unconditional love and compassion that wants the best for us. And so, yes, stand in your truth to make it everyone else's truth. Allow people to be who they are, and allow them their own journey too, because maybe whatever their truth is on their journey, they're going to move through things and maybe adjust their spiritual truth. You know, we're adjusting our spiritual truth all the time on different aspects of our lives. But, you know, stand in your truth, because your truth for you is right. Okay, let's look at the last card for the month. I was wondering if we were going to have a major arcana for this month. Okay, so this is major arcana number 2, the High Priestess with Archangel Haniel. And it says, listen to your intuition, have patience, and consider carefully what you want before acting. Archangel Haniel is an archangel that deals with our psychic senses and perceptions. Okay. And so, you know, the first few days of the month, we still have Venus in Cancer, Mercury in Cancer, the Sun is in Cancer. The new moon that we have on the 4th of July is in Cancer. So there's a lot of this intuitive energy going on right now, tapping into that higher priestess energy, the healing energies, tapping into our spiritual truth again. We have Archangel Haniel here in the High Priestess card, and she's holding a book in one hand, and this could be like the Book of Life or the Akashic Records in a sense, which again, tapping into your Akashic Records. It's, you know, as simple as doing a meditation and asking to be tapped into your truth, your Akashic Records, the spiritual energies that have been with you for all the lives that you've lived, your present life. You know, it speaks of all your gifts and talents and abilities. It speaks of what you're to learn in this lifetime, or what you're to move through and understand. That Book of Life, I feel like, is important to you. And they're saying that this can not just be the spiritual Book of Life or the Akashic Records, but also that there may be spiritual truths that you're uncovering in actual books or materials or classes or things that you're reading, articles on the internet. So also look for this spiritual guidance and your spiritual truth and the heightening of your own gifts and abilities and intuitions. But first and foremost, consider what you really want before moving forward. I feel like we have the month of July to consider carefully, as it says here in this card, what we want before Mars moves back into Sagittarius in August and things really start happening at a faster pace. So let's take a look at your special message card depending on your stone of choice. Those of you that chose the Spectralite, okay? Spectralite people. Okay, one popped right up here in the Fairy Tarot deck, so I'm going to go with it. Okay, so Spectralite people, you have Major Arcana number 9, the Hermit, okay? It says, find or be a mentor, take a break from society, a commitment to your spiritual growth. So I'm feeling strongly that with Mars in Scorpio moving forward, that you're needing to kind of pull back your energies a little bit. I feel like there's some self-healing and soul searching that you need to do. Just like this fairy here in the Hermit card has a staff of light, I feel like you're needing to kind of go within a little bit more. It doesn't mean that you can't connect with society at all. Obviously, that doesn't, make any sense. But as much as you can, get out into nature by yourself. Do meditation by yourself. Spend some time alone by yourself instead of always being on the go. There's something here to where you need to really find yourself. You need to reconnect with yourself, with your deep soul essence. So you need to do that kind of soul searching in this month. Let me see if there's anything else that comes up in this card. They're saying ancient wisdom and knowledge. The purpose of pulling back your energies and doing some soul searching is to find some ancient wisdom and knowledge that's been deeply buried but deeply a part of you for all of your eternity that your soul has been. So in this self-reflective alone time, you're going to be able to reconnect with that ancient wisdom and knowledge that is needed. Ask to not only bring it in, but ask to have it be merged and reconnected. Or stabilized within you. I can't think of the term I'm trying to think of, but ask for that ancient knowledge and wisdom to come and to be, again, interconnected with you. All right, so those of you that chose the Rhodochrosite, okay, let's take the Fairy Tarot deck and we'll give it a little shuffle here. It's a big deck, so I can't hold it up too much, or everything might fall on the floor. I'm asking for Rhodochrosite people, message to be shown. Okay, we're needing to give it a little shuffle here. Okay, this one is showing itself to me. The Nine of Winter. Unfounded fears, focusing on the worst case scenario and allowing worry to grow out of proportion in the problem. So I feel like in this month of July, the people that chose Rhodochrosite, you're having a difficult time with letting go of some of the negative ego, fears, anxieties, and doubts. They're saying, when I look at this, and I look at this fairy looking out the window to that full moon, they're saying by the full moon of Capricorn, I feel like you'll have moved through that. So the full moon in Capricorn, again in July, happens on the 19th. They're saying as we move past the full moon in which again are just an illusion of the ego mind, I feel like we need to actually choose an addendum card for you as far as what's going to maybe assist or help you in the best way to move out of those fears. And this one pops up, the Six of Autumn. The good you do comes back to you. An unexpected inflow of money and borrowing wisely or repairing a debt. So when I ask the question, what can you do to move out of this? I feel like that first statement on this card is what stands out, that you need to help other people, give support to other people, give your time to other people. So whatever that means to you, doing good for others kind of balances out that energy of the fears that you have. Somehow giving, they're saying the giving of your time or energy or effort is going to come back to you 100-fold in the way of blessings and opportunities from the universe, which is often what this card is about, is gifts and blessings, financial or otherwise, from the universe, going to come back to you if you give your time, volunteer your time, assist other people. So do something in this month on a regular basis as far as that's concerned, and that will help you. And then for those of you that chose the blue lace agate, okay, blue lace agate people, looking for your special message for July for blue lace agate. Okay, popped right up. All right. The Two of Winter. Indecision is holding you back. Make the choice that's best for you rather than trying to please others, feeling trapped between the intellectual and the emotional. So there's a need to balance the emotions and logic in this month. And this also, again, says that it's like coming to a head with other people. Like you're thinking one thing, your partner, your family, people you work with, your friends thinking something else. So there's a butting of heads here. Or you're wanting to kind of always, give yourself and do what you feel is best for everybody else. When in fact, it says that you need to really decide what's best for you. It doesn't mean to ignore everybody else's feelings, but it does mean that you have to choose what's right for you. That's the only thing that you can do in this case, because you need to move forward in life. And there's something that you're trying to decide, this indecision, this going back and forth mentally. Should I do this or should I not? Should I take this direction? Should I take that direction? There's a vacillation of energies here and not wanting to hurt the other person or persons involved. But yet you know what your soul really needs or wants or desires, and maybe you're not getting it in the current situation. So there's a choice that you need to make. And I feel like listening to music, I'm looking at this instrument over here that this little boy fairy is kind of looking towards. I feel like you need to listen as much as possible to music. That will help to soothe you. That will help to ground you. That will help to bring clarity and peace within your soul and help you to move through making this decision and what you need to do for yourself to move forward. So I hope you've liked this monthly angel card reading. Sending all of you much love and light. Many thanks for liking and sharing and commenting on my videos. Thank you all for those that sign up for readings and services through sacredsoulempowerment.com. Thank you to all of you, those that send in donations to sacredsoulempowerment.com. That helps me to continue doing my daily Facebook posts and for doing these weekly and monthly readings for you all. So sending you all much love and light and many, many blessings to each and every one of you. Love and light. Thank you.